Only days left, folks. Worst case scenario, investments opening up in the Ukraine. It's coming down to the wire. So let's play a game down in the likes and comment section. Now, if you think that they're just scaring us about the debt limit and how a default can be devastating for Social Security, for our veterans, and for low-income Americans, hit the thumbs up button. But if you think that this is all real and that we may actually be headed toward a default, comment the term default in the comment section down below. It's going to be real interesting to see how people actually feel about what's happening to us right now. Now, if you just got here, check the score below and see which is higher, likes or the term default in the comment section. U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, he's aiming to uphold the 3-day rule for members to be able to read any debt measure, even if it risks having the United States default. Federal agencies are being asked by the Treasury Department if they can make upcoming payments at a later date, showing the pessimism within the government that a deal will be struck for the debt limit. Now, the worst case scenario for many of us is that we might possibly see Social Security and Medicare payments stop altogether. The war in the Ukraine isn't over, but that's not stopping investment company BlackRock from creating the Ukraine Development Fund with the Ukrainian government to hopefully attract public and private capital to rebuild the country. Now, I wonder how they're going about this. And what does BlackRock know that we don't? Why would you want to invest in a war-torn country? Or was all of this planned? And former President Donald Trump's legal team, they're requesting to meet with Attorney General Merrick Garland regarding how Trump is being treated unfairly compared to President Biden. Do you guys think that this is the case with all of the former president's legal troubles? Let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to the facts. Also, for the very best way to invest in gold or silver, check out the links in the description down below of this video. So, U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is confident that they can get a deal done with the White House, even though they are cutting things real close to the deadline provided by Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. The potential catastrophe this will send upon veterans and those who receive Social Security, SSI, SSDI benefits, and for those on Medicare will be historic. But even with the tight timeline, the House Speaker still wants to uphold the rule that he discussed when it comes to requiring time for bills to be available publicly. Now, it says here right on his website, quote, "Measures proposed to be considered through a motion to suspend the rules shall be publicly available in an electronic format for 3 days prior to their consideration. For purposes of determining public availability, the measure must be available for 3 days in the substantive form in which it is proposed to be passed or adopted. At the time the House considers the motion to suspend the rules, only revisions that are purely technical or grammatical in nature are permitted to the text that was made publicly available in accordance with this protocol." End quote. Something that he reminded the people in a recent statement.
No, I'm not going to waive the 3-day rule because we have the 3-day rule for a reason. You lend your voice to your elected officials. You want to make sure they have their voice. If you want to move a bill such as this, and I know in past Congresses under Speaker Pelosi it was different, they would move trillions of dollars in a day and nobody could read the bill. I'm not going to be afraid of what the agreement comes in the end. Because I would sit that bill down and I would give everybody 72 hours so everybody knows what they're voting on. The American public, yes.
Is there a drop-dead date where you need to have a deal in order to get it through the House?
Look, I've always felt, looking back before, we should already be here. And as I told you, I've never wanted to be here. All of my actions from the day I became Speaker was to try to make sure we weren't here. Unfortunately, we went 97 days where people said they wouldn't talk to us. We went more than 100 days, said you couldn't negotiate on this. We're finally at that point. Had we started this in February, we could have been done long before the deadline.
What's the real target to have
Where
the
did you
bill?
leave it? Are you meeting tomorrow? Or
Well, we instructed Chairman McHenry and others and in the White House to come back together based upon our discussions in the room and try to find where we can get to common ground there.
What do you guys think? Are we going to see another buzzer beater, or will this be the first time in history that the United States defaults? But even though McCarthy looks to be confident about a deal, the Treasury Department is already asking federal agencies whether they can make upcoming payments at a later date, signaling that they're expecting our country to face a default. Urgency is being highlighted as a memo from the Treasury Department ordered agency officials to notify them at least 2 days in advance of all deposits and disbursements between $50 to $500 million, with the latter amount requiring 5 days notice. Now, I want to be honest with you guys. All of this talk is really making me nervous, and I can only imagine what many of you guys might be feeling right now. So here's hoping that they finally get all this straightened out and for them to show us that the Americans and our welfare are their top priority. Now, from one priority to the next, BlackRock has launched the UDF, also known as the Ukraine Development fund together with their government as they want to attract investments into the Ukraine. Now, BlackRock is going to need all of the help that they can get, as the World Bank estimated back in March that Ukraine will have to invest $411 billion over the next decade for them to be able to recover and rebuild from this war. In a statement after meeting with BlackRock, their president Vladimir Zelensky was quoted as saying this, quote, "We've shown that we know how to win on the battlefield. Another important task for us is to achieve victories in the economy as well, and to be an attractive country for investors," end quote. I wonder who's going to invest in the Ukraine. You guys got any clues? Now, it's weird hearing talks about investments in hundreds of billions of dollars. Meanwhile, the city of Bakhmut may have already been taken over by Russia. But heck, what do I know, right? I ain't the president or anything. Now, speaking of the president, let's talk about former President Trump and his attorneys, as they're saying that he's been treated unfairly. In a letter that was recently sent to Attorney General Merrick Garland, they state this, quote, "We represent Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States, in the investigation currently conducted by the Special Counsel's Office. Unlike President Biden, his son Hunter, and the Biden family, President Trump is being treated unfairly. No president of the United States has ever in the history of our country been baselessly investigated in such an outrageous and unlawful fashion. We request a meeting at your earliest convenience to discuss the ongoing injustice that is being perpetuated by your special counsel and his prosecutors," end quote.
The Trump lawyers asking Merrick Garland, the Attorney General of the United States, for a meeting about Special Counsel Jack Smith's criminal investigations of Donald Trump. Donald Trump's criminal lawyers pleading with Attorney General Merrick Garland to intervene in a case where he has appointed a special prosecutor to handle that case.
Now, I want to ask you guys, with the entire Mar-a-Lago raid, the numerous legal battles, and just a focus on Trump in recent months, do you guys agree that there is just a little bit of a targeted investigation against him? And if so, do you also see how the Biden family is being treated differently by the DOJ and other government arms? Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Now, if we're talking about being treated differently, and I'm basing this off the comments and different articles and videos and whatnot, even some of mine, many say that we're not being treated the same way as we were years ago. Some feel forgotten, while others are frustrated with the lack of support that they receive. Now, I gotta ask, is this the case for you? I know that I'm not the president, or, I don't hold any kind of government office or anything like that, but I do want to help in my own unique way. Now, of course, you guys can hit me up in the comment section down below if you want to learn more about money-making methods. We can talk about side hustles, small businesses, home-based businesses that could be capable of generating multiple streams of income and increasing your cash flow. Now, I can also help you guys to understand the stock market, different opportunities that are opening up in the real estate market, and also ways that you can protect your wealth through investments in precious metals like gold and silver. All you got to do is drop me some comments down below, guys. By the way, you should see 2 important videos right above my head. Be sure to click on those right now. But remember, financial freedom is possible, but it is going to take a little bit of effort to get there. Now, before I go, guys, do me a huge favor, drop a big like for the video. Also, share this video with your friends. Matter of fact, share this video with everyone. Don't forget to subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. You guys are awesome. I will see you on the next one.